Breaking. Diddy's case just took a shocking turn. Before you watch, hit like and subscribe right now for the most explosive updates. Turn on notifications or risk missing the biggest revelations. They called it the trial of the decade. Inside the Los Angeles Superior Court, the air was dense with tension, scandal, and betrayal. The public waited with bated breath. The world wasn't just watching for justice. It wanted blood, confession, collapse. And sitting in the middle of it all, unmoving, polished, unreadable, was Sean Diddy Combs, billionaire, mogul, father, defendant. His lawyers wore $5,000 suits. His posture screamed confidence. But across from him, under harsh lights and public scrutiny, sat the one man who could shatter everything. His son, Justin Dior Combs. Not a prosecutor, not a cop, not a journalist, his own flesh and blood. And when he finally opened his mouth, the words turned history upside down. "He asked me to fuck her." Gasps erupted in the room. The judge hammered his gavel. "Order! Order in the court!" But it was too late. The quote raced across every media outlet, social feed, and push notification in under 30 seconds. Lexi Monroe. That name hadn't trended in years. She was the girl with the fire curls and wide green eyes, the dancer from Texas who came to LA looking for fame. She made it, briefly. A few viral TikToks, then a feature in a Bad Boy video, and soon she was everywhere. Then she was gone. No goodbyes, no posts, just silence. People assumed she fizzled out, but inside courtroom 47B, her name was reborn as the first domino in a chain of destruction. Justin sat with his shoulders hunched. "I didn't want to do it," he said, "but he told me I had to." "Who told you?" The ADA, Monique Reyes, asked. "My father." He took a deep breath. He said, "It was how loyalty was tested. That if I couldn't handle that, I wasn't ready to run the empire." Back then, Justin wanted approval. His whole life had been spent trying to earn his father's respect. On the football field, in business school, even at nightclubs. He didn't want to be the spoiled rich kid. He wanted to prove he was a man. The night Lexi arrived at the Bel Air estate, Justin remembered feeling sick. She thought she was coming for a dance rehearsal. At least that's what her text said. But his father had other plans. "Make her feel welcome," Diddy told him. "Don't be gentle." Lexi was smiling when she walked in. By the time she walked out, her smile was gone. Lexi Monroe testified weeks later. Her voice was even, calm, too calm. "I knew what was happening the moment the door locked," she said. "I asked to leave. I told Justin I didn't want to do this. He said he had no choice." "Did he force you?" the prosecutor asked. "Yes, but not with his fists, with silence, with expectation, with fear. He wasn't himself." She paused. "He was a reflection of someone else." Justin hadn't spoken to Lexi since that night. He thought she hated him. He hated himself. When the lawsuit landed, he expected jail. Instead, she asked for him to testify. It crushed him. He'd been complicit, and now he was her witness. "Afterward, my father patted me on the back," Justin told the court. "He said I'd finally grown up, that I'd passed the test." "What test was that?" Reyes asked. "To obey." The DA brought forward exhibits, texts between Lexi and a friend saying she felt scared before arriving. A security log showing the door locked from the outside. A clip of Diddy off camera saying, "Justin'll take care of it. He knows what loyalty means." The defense tried to claim it was role play, that Lexi had fantasies, that she was an opportunist who wanted a payout. But then came the next wave. 3 women, different years, same story. A singer, a stylist, a makeup artist. Each had been brought in for mentorship, Each had been sent upstairs. Each remembered Justin. He was polite, one said. Too polite. Like he was trying to separate himself from what he was doing. He apologized before touching me. He said, "If it's not me, it'll be someone worse." Public opinion began to shift. Fast. Social media turned from curiosity to fury. Old interviews resurfaced, clips where Diddy made odd jokes. One where he told a young intern, "You want to be famous? Let's see what you'll do to get there." Another where he pointed at Justin and said, "That boy'll take a bullet for me, or hand me one." In retrospect, it wasn't loyalty, it was grooming. And still, in the courtroom, Diddy smiled. He watched his son unravel like a chess piece. He watched Lexi cry, and he never blinked. The turning point came in week 4. A former bodyguard named Rio Chambers took the stand. He was gray-haired now, retired, but his voice carried weight. He had worked for Diddy for 15 years. There was a system, Rio said. It wasn't always physical. Sometimes it was psychological. Sometimes it was a reward. Favors, money, gigs. Sometimes it was punishment. Punishment for what? Reyes asked. For saying no, for resisting, for breaking the silence. He looked over at Diddy. "You said she was lying, Sean, but I saw her walk out of that room. I remember the look on her face." He handed over old ledgers, receipts, check stubs paid to silence people, confidential settlements disguised as consulting fees. The courtroom buzzed. By now, Lexi Monroe's face had become a symbol. Protesters held her photo outside the courthouse. Survivors came forward. 2 more men admitted they had once cleaned up a girl crying at a studio party. Then came the leaked folder. It had been sitting in a cloud drive. Inside, emails, voice memos, contracts labeled property intake, a file named Night Girls Summer Roster. One memo read, "If she hesitates, let Justin start. He disarms them." Justin had begged the court to let him testify a second time. "I need to explain," he said, "not to defend myself, to tell the truth." He stood, trembling, as every monitor in the courtroom displayed the memo. "This destroyed me," he said. "I didn't know it existed, but it confirms what I feared all along. I wasn't helping. I was weaponized." He turned to the jury. "I thought I was being a good son, but I was just another part of the machine." Outside, the press exploded. News anchors called it the most intimate betrayal in American celebrity history. Opinion pieces debated whether Justin was a victim or a villain. Twitter asked, "Is complicity still abuse?" And Lexi stayed quiet. Until she didn't. She released a statement. "Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's refusing to let pain own your life. I forgive Justin, but I will never forgive the machine that created him." Lexi's words spread like wildfire. Talk shows dissected every syllable. She forgives him, but she won't forgive the system. Can you forgive someone who raped you, if they were also a victim? The media feasted. But in the courtroom, the tone shifted. More witnesses came forward. A former executive assistant testified that there was a dedicated burner phone, just for coordinating playdates, as they called them. A female A&R rep said she quit after seeing a girl no older than 16 being escorted by 2 adult men into a pool house. "When I raised concern," she told the jury, "Diddy said, 'She's legal in spirit. Her soul's old enough.'" Then came the recording, a grainy audio-only file, time-stamped 2019. Diddy speaking to a private group. "You want to know power? Power isn't money. Power is when people let you do something horrible and still call you a genius." He laughed in the recording. "You can fuck someone over and they'll thank you for it. That's power." The courtroom sat frozen. Justin wept openly. The defense tried to claim the voice was faked, but 3 independent analysts verified it. The mask was gone. Diddy's smile disappeared that day. He stopped coming in flashy suits. He stopped winking at reporters. He stopped pretending he was in control, because the world had stopped pretending too. Reyes delivered her final blow with cold precision. This man did not act alone. He created a culture, a ritual, a legacy of fear, sex, silence, and obedience. And when his son, his own blood, refused to lie anymore, he didn't protect him. He accused him of betrayal. She pointed at Justin. He was made into a weapon, and today he chose to disarm himself. Gina Ward, the defense attorney, tried one last appeal. She called Diddy a pioneer, a misunderstood genius, a casualty of cancel culture. She played clips of charity work, scholarships, but no amount of good deeds erased the bodies buried under silence. The jury was unmoved. The jury deliberated for 6 days. Speculation ran wild. Some believed Diddy would walk, too rich, too powerful. Others said Justin's testimony sealed his fate. When the verdict came, the room held its breath. We, the jury, find the defendant, Sean Combs, guilty on all 5 counts: sexual coercion, criminal conspiracy witness, tampering, indecent assault, use of a minor in a coercive act. The judge looked directly at Diddy. This court sentences you to 12 years in federal prison without the possibility of early parole. Diddy didn't flinch. As marshals approached to cuff him, he smirked. 12 years? He said, almost amused. You think that erases what I built? He turned to Justin. You think they love you now? Wait till they get bored. You're nothing without me. Justin didn't answer. He just stared, because he wasn't that boy anymore. Outside, Lexi stood behind a podium. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted, but her voice remained steady. Today isn't justice, she said. Today is the start of recovery, for all of us. What happens to Justin? A reporter asked. She paused. That's not my story to tell, but I hope he finds peace. Justin left the courthouse through the back exit. No press, no statements. He got into a small black car and drove away alone. He wouldn't return to his father's estate, not even to collect belongings. He changed his number, moved into a modest home in Oregon. He began working with trauma counselors, not as a client, as a volunteer. Diddy was sent to a federal correctional facility in Arizona. He requested house arrest. It was denied. He asked for studio access. Denied. He offered millions in restitution. Denied. For the first time in decades, the man who dictated the beat of a generation was left in silence. In the months that followed, Bad Boy Records collapsed. Major sponsors pulled out. Licensing deals disappeared. Former collaborators distanced themselves. Documentaries were greenlit. Podcasts unpacked every minute detail. Survivors formed a coalition, offering legal support to others still afraid to speak. And still, Justin remained silent. He declined all interviews. He turned down a $2 million book deal. He spent his days building low-income housing and his nights attending survivor meetings, not to talk, but to listen. One day, a young woman asked him directly, "How do you sleep after doing what you did?" Justin looked at her, eyes heavy. "I don't, that's the price. But I live, that's the gift." Lexi's nonprofit flourished. She hired therapists, caseworkers, lawyers. Survivors called her their lighthouse. She never danced professionally again. But once a year she hosted a private performance, just for the women in her center. A space without cameras, without men. Just movement, just healing. Justin watched from a distance. He never reached out again. He said everything he needed to in court. He carried the weight of those words. He asked me to fuck her. the words that cracked the empire, the words that freed a truth buried under platinum records and red carpets. In the final interview Justin ever gave, months before disappearing from public view, he was asked one last question. "Do you still love your father?" He didn't hesitate. "I loved the version I believed in, the man I served. That love died the day I saw what it cost Lexi." "So what lives in you now?" the interviewer asked. Justin's voice was quiet, shame, and hope. Every year, on the anniversary of Lexi's testimony, Justin lights a candle at the edge of a cliff in Oregon. No audience, no Instagram, just one flame in the dark, a reminder of who he was and what he chose to become. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more continuous stories as more investigations on Diddy's case unfolds.